then everybody should know where the Jackson 5 was found and who the hell found them. I'm so sick of it. It's like 72 people that claim discovery of the Jacksons. God damn. God damn. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Jackson Family Values. Memories of Madness by Margaret Maldonado Jackson, who we lovingly call Peggy. Catherine and I's favorite spot to chat continued to be the two chairs on the upstairs landing, and it was there during a conversation that I first mentioned to her the idea of doing a television show about the family and how the Jacksons came to be. At that point, I didn't know how to go about making it a reality. What I did know was that musical biographies were big on TV. I had just finished watching 2 different versions of the Liberace story as well as the film bio of Karen Carpenter. Why not the Jackson family? Okay, so listen, y'all, right quick. When I tell you Jackson's The American Dream came on television, when I tell you that was an event, do you hear me? All things shut down. I'm trying to think of another event that happened on television that, stopped the world. Roots was one. What's another one, y'all? Oh, The Temptations. That was another one. Ooh. Catherine laughed when I told her about my idea of turning them into a TV movie, saying no one would be interested in watching a story about her family. Catherine said, I'm not about to watch the story of the Osmonds. So why the hell would anybody want to watch the stories of the Jacksons? Baby, because they the Jacksons. And to be honest with you, if they wrote a miniseries about the Osmonds, I'm going to be there. Because you can't tell me that it wasn't no shenanigans going on with them mother hunters. I tried to explain to her how important the Jacksons story could be to young people, particularly young Black people. I explained that television rarely does a positive Black drama, and that whenever it does, it's only if the Black person is dead. Okay. I also said the movie would be a good vehicle for all the fine Black actors out there. Everybody could have input, and it could turn out to be a wonderful family project. She thought about it for a while, then smiled and nodded. That was enough for me. I talked to Jermaine and outlined my idea to him. I sweetened it for him by telling him he could produce the show and open up an entirely new direction in his career. Jermaine agreed to bring it up at a meeting he was having with his agent Brian Gersh at the Triad Agency. Brian's eyes lit up as he thought about putting the Jacksons family saga on television, and his enthusiasm for the project was reinforced by another agent, Rob Lee, who began to lay the groundwork. Only if Jermaine produces, I emphasized. That's right, girl. Rob Lee suggested we make an offer to one of his clients, Stan Margelis, a legend in Hollywood. He had produced The Thornbirds Child. That's another one. Okay, that's another miniseries that was an event. Now, it might not have been the event to us as Black folks, but I'm telling you, anytime that a priest stop being a priest so he can make love to a love interest, man, that's an event. Okay. His features included Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. His biggest credit was for Roots, perhaps the best miniseries ever. Stan came over to Havenhurst and had lunch with Catherine, Jermaine, and me. He charmed all of us. Next came Susan DePaz. As an early employee of Berry Gordy at Motown, Suzanne had discovered the Jackson Five and had been involved with them in a number of ways from the beginning. Hold on, girl. We're not going to let you get away with that one. She says that the Jackson Five was discovered by Suzanne DePassy. How many motherfuckers is going to claim discovery of the Jackson Five? I'm so sick of you ninjas. But then everybody should know where the Jackson Five was found and who the hell found them. I'm so sick of it. It's like 72 people that claim discovery of the Jacksons. God damn. God damn. She had since become a major player in the Hollywood community, having been nominated for an Academy Award for co-writing the screenplay for Lady Sings the Blues. She had also served as executive producer of the Emmy award-winning Motown 25. As the project began to take shape, my involvement on Jermaine's behalf grew so much that one of our attorneys suggested that I speak to Jermaine about sharing credit on the miniseries since I was doing most of the work. I hadn't thought about sharing the producing credits at all. Yeah, because you so used to catering to that goddamn Jermaine and his ego. All I was certain I could produce was babies. And I was very uncomfortable about going to Jermaine and asking for anything. As it turned out, I didn't have to. The attorneys did it for me. Jermaine agreed that I was doing a great job and agreed to share credit. Girl, I jumped at the chance and sprinted through the open door with enthusiasm. Unfortunately, when I looked back, Jermaine hadn't come through the door with me. Because the Korean family tour was still in negotiation, both Joseph and Kenneth Choi were spending a lot of time at Havenhurst. Joseph's business manager, Jerome Howard, was ever present, as well working overtime to keep that Korean deal from going up in smoke. That was a minor distraction compared to the constant infighting that was taking place between the brothers. Not a day went by that one or more of them wouldn't be on the phone in an uproar. Jackie, Tito, Randy, and Jermaine were still recording 2300 Jackson Street, and it was the cause of constant consternation between them. Jermaine complained about Tito spending too much time with his cars and model airplanes. The buzz on Randy was that he was never around when they needed him. They nicknamed him Grand Opening because they said all he had time for was the opening of a new restaurant or nightclub. I mean, he is the baby boy, so he probably partying. But nothing was as bad as the back and forth bickering between Jermaine and Jackie. Both of them wanted to sing the lead vocals on every song on the album. Jermaine was in the studio during the day singing the leads with Jackie and sometimes Tito as backup. At night, Jackie recorded the same song singing the lead vocals himself. The next day, when the tape arrived at Havenhurst, Jermaine went ballistic. This went on for months. The recording was not the only topic of discussion. The girlfriend, merry-go-round, gave them all something to talk about. Jackie, now divorced from Enid and done with Paula Abdul, had begun to see a girl named Victoria. At the same time, he was seeing a beautiful actress named Lela Rochon. Oh no, not my Lela Rochon. At the same time, he was seeing a beautiful actress named Lela Rochon, whom everyone called Shawnee. She was known as the Budweiser girl and appeared in all those commercials with the dog Spuds McKenzie and later went on to appear in several Eddie Murphy films. I only remember her in Boomerang. Maybe in Harlem Nights. Yeah, because she was Sunshine in Harlem Nights. But I guess she hadn't did Waiting to Exhale yet. One day, Victoria would be at the house. The next day, it would be Shawnee. Neither of them knew about the other's existence. It got even worse when Jackie and Victoria became officially engaged, and Jackie continued to bring Shawnee to the house. Ugh. I know Catherine is like, ooh, these niggas. Ooh, they is just like their father. That was mild compared to what was going on with Randy. Randy was seeing a beautiful Persian girl named Eliza Shafi, whom he'd met at a nightclub. Eliza was also dating Gabrielle Horowitz, a professional gambler and former husband of Marcia Clark, lead prosecutor in the O.J. Simpson trial. Randy was crazy about Eliza, but not quite crazy enough that he didn't have another girlfriend on the side. He had met Alejandra Loiza while she was still attending Beverly Hills High School. He had escorted her to her graduation and rented an apartment for her soon afterwards. That relationship remained hot until the afternoon Randy made a surprise visit to the apartment and found Alejandra in bed with her best friend's boyfriend. Randy was so upset he ran outside and sat crying on the curb. A neighbor bought him a glass of water to calm him down. Alejandra and Randy broke up and he began seriously dating Eliza. Things seemed to settle down after that, but what Randy didn't know was that Alejandra was pregnant with his child. At first, no one in the family knew about either girlfriend. Randy was always out of town. He did bring Eliza by Havenhurst once, and Catherine definitely did not like what she saw because that daggone, what's her name? Who is this? What's the girl name? Eliza. She was old free spirit. Hey, that's the best way to describe her. When she went to go see the mammy, this is what you never do, girl. This is what you never do, right? Unless you a potential for Jerry Springer or Ricky Lake or what is that, Jenny Jones, okay? But you don't go to visit the mammy with a crop top on and the bottom half of your boobs showing. Catherine didn't like that. You can't go to no Jehovah Witness house with half your titties hanging out. You can't do that. So Catherine wasn't pleased with the little girl. It turned out Randy eloped with Eliza in August 1990. She was also pregnant. I met Alejandra by accident when I happened to be shopping in a Beverly Hills boutique where she worked. I was wearing a Jackson t-shirt. As I walked around, I was approached by Alejandra, who asked where I'd gotten my top. I told her I was Jermaine's wife. I told her I was Jermaine's wife, and she pulled me aside and told me her name and said she was pregnant with Randy's baby. The plot thickens, I thought. Alejandra had moved out of the apartment Randy had rented for her and was living with her teenage brother. She said she couldn't pay her doctor's bills and was barely able to put food on the table. Sounds like a Jackson. Sympathizing with her position, I told her I would see if I could get the Jacksons to help her financially, and I promised to give her my old baby furniture. I took this bit of news back to Havenhurst, only to find that Randy had married Eliza and she was also carrying his baby. Over Catherine's objections, Jermaine and I found a beautiful 2-bedroom condo on Burton Way in Beverly Hills for $3,000 a month. At the time, we could afford it. I knew there would be money coming in from the miniseries. Jermaine was still doing the occasional concert, and he was continuing to receive between $12,000 and $25,000 a month as part of his advance from Arista Records. Girl, but how much longer you think Arista going to be paying him for nothing? Our relationship was still good, although there was no talk of marriage in our immediate future. But I was excited about the miniseries, adored my 2 children, and had a solid relationship. Girl, you just met his next baby mother. My life was moving along happily. So you thought. Although there had been a steady flow of money, Jermaine's record company was getting tired of giving him advances and began to worry about recouping their money, as they should. Hazel's alimony and child support payments were causing us to reach the bottom of our cash barrel. In mid-1989, things got so tight that Jermaine had to part with his favorite toy, his midnight blue Ferrari Daytona. Having that car seemed pretentious, so I was not sad to see it go, but Jermaine was heartbroken. It had been his status symbol, his proof of stardom, and now it was no more. Ironically, Hazel had brought him the car as a birthday present when they were married, and now he was selling the car to pay Hazel's alimony. Once the car sold and we got the money, Hazel got $20,000 of it. With the rest, we paid overdue bills. Then a little luck kicked in. Restaurateur George Santo Pietro, who later married Vanna White, had brought Jermaine's Ferrari and had a black Corniche for sale. After negotiating a great price, I bought it for Jermaine and had it waiting in the garage for him. Soon after, we were calling the moving trucks again.